The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, before we proceed any further, make sure you guys smash that like button so these YouTube algorithms know that you're rocking with True School Sports and the untouchable, because it's the right thing to do. So just go ahead and do that, and also subscribe. Love you guys out there. Now, listen. There's a fight that I'm very excited for. Very, very excited for, actually. It's coming up in a couple weeks. I'll be there. It's in Fort Worth, Texas. It'll be on the undercard of Virgil Ortiz versus Maurice Hooker. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, March 13th for Seniesa Estrada, or March 20th for the Virgil Ortiz versus Maurice Hooker fight, let me know, and we can meet at the fights. But listen, Seniesa Estrada, Seniesa Estrada, super bad. One of the best fighters in the sport of boxing, in my opinion, male or female. To me, she's one of the most skilled fighters in the sport of boxing. In my opinion, and I've said this for many years, I think Seniesa Estrada has all the ingredients to be the biggest star in women's boxing, and I'm holding true to that to the very end. And so proven otherwise, I'm holding true to that because that's what I believe. It's conviction that I've had for not just a year, not just 2 years, but we're talking about over half a decade. I thought that for a long time. She has the biggest fight of her career coming up against Anabel Ortiz. And for those of you who don't know Anabel Ortiz, for those of you who aren't up in your women's boxing, Anabel Ortiz is a damn good fighter. Anabel Ortiz, we're talking about, when we talk about Anabel Ortiz, we're talking about someone who's had this WBA minimum weight title for a long, long time. I mean, she's had it for what? 7 years. She's had this belt for 7 years with over 10 title defenses. She's 31-3. She only got 3 losses. Only been stopped one time, and the last time she was stopped was in 2011. So it's been a decade since she's been stopped. She's a damn good fighter, and she's only lost to top fighters like Jessica Bopp and that one Japanese girl whose name I can't pronounce, Nako Fujika, whatever her name was. She stopped Anabel Ortiz. So this is a great fight. Seniesa Estrada is being put in tough, and this is her moment. To me, it's her moment. It's what she's been waiting for her whole career. I personally believe she could have fought for a world title 4 or 5 years ago, but she wanted her fight to mean something. She wanted to build her name up. So now it is going to mean something. She's going to be fighting on the Virgil Ortiz and Maurice Hooker undercard, and it's a great fight because of who she's fighting. Anabel Ortiz had the belt for a long time. Anabel Ortiz hasn't been stopped in a very long time. Anabel Ortiz is very experienced, a veteran of 30 plus fights. And it is what it is. Seniesa Estrada, she's 5'2". She's got a 2-inch height advantage, got a 2-inch or half an inch reach advantage, if I'm not mistaken. So she's got some things going for her. And I had a chance to watch Anabel Ortiz fight recently. I was going through and watching some of her old fights because I'll be honest, before this fight got announced, I'd heard her name before, but I hadn't really taken the time to watch her fight. So I took some time. I really took some time to watch her fight. I'm talking about, I watched about an hour's worth of Anabel Ortiz fights because that's the kind of boxing nerd that I am. And she's a good fighter. She comes forward really well. She's got a solid jab. She got a good right hand. She knows what she's doing in there. She's a very seasoned ring operator. I had a chance to, one of the fights of hers that I watched was a fight against somebody that I believe Seniesa Estrada will fight in the future. When they fight, I think it's going to be a great fight. But she fought the Japanese fighter. She fought Estuco Tada twice. And I didn't watch their first fight, but I watched the rematch that ended in a split decision. You know what I'm saying? When she fought Estuco Tada in the rematch, I thought Estuco Tada won. She's kind of like a long, rangy southpaw. And she was exploiting her height very, very well. She was boxing very good behind the jab. And I noticed that when Anabel Ortiz throws hooks, her hooks, they're compact, they're good, but they don't come out that fast. And there's one thing I know about Seniesa Estrada is that she has that Roy Jones Jr. influence. That's one of her favorite fighters. So she's all about the hooks. Sometimes she'll lead with the hook. And with that being said, I could foresee a scenario in this fight where Seniesa Estrada and Anabel Ortiz trade hooks, and Seniesa Estrada gets the better of those exchanges and hurts her badly. You know what I'm saying? I could see that, and I feel like that's gonna be the advantage for her in the fight. Her advantage in this fight is the fact that she's younger, and the fact that I believe that her punches get from point A to point B quicker. She's a quicker fighter. There's more speed in her punches, and on top of that, her biggest advantage out of everything is her feet, is her ability to move, slip, and shift around the ring. You know, so those are the things she has going for her. And it's going to be a great test for her. We're going to see if Seniesa Estrada is the real deal. Because, I think she's the real deal, and I've always thought that. And even if she loses, even if somehow she comes up short, she's still the real deal. She can still fight her ass off. She's proven that already. These two have a couple of similar opponents. Estuco Tada boxed Nancy Franco to a UD, like Seniesa Estrada boxed Nancy Franco to a UD. Not Estuco Tada. Anabel Ortiz. Anabel Ortiz boxed Nancy Franco to a UD like Seniesa Estrada did. Anabel Ortiz also fought Jennifer Leon and beat her via UD. Seniesa Estrada, on the other hand, you know what she did to Jennifer Leon. You know what she did to Jennifer Leon? She took Jennifer Leon and she folded her up like a blue steel chair, like The Rock, like Chris Jericho. She didn't play no games with no damn Jennifer Leon. She got Jennifer Leon out of there in the 4th round. So she's not. Seniesa Estrada is one of them fighters, and she's one of the reasons why, when it comes to women's boxing, I don't really watch a lot of women's boxing anymore unless it's like on a big card. I don't. I'll be honest. I tried to cover it for a while, but then I had to be honest with myself. There's only like maybe 10 or 15 fighters that I watch and follow, and I keep my ears out for any new fighters that come up that are worth watching. But she's really one of the only women's boxers I can say I'm truly a fan of. That even if she wasn't attractive, I'd still be a fan of her because she's just genuinely fun to watch fight. And one thing about her is when she hurts you, she puts you away. And this is the fight where I believe, in my heart of hearts, she's going to deliver, and she will put her away, and she'll become world champion, and it's going to be a great beginning to a new era in women's boxing. Because a lot of people say Claressa Shields is the biggest star of women's boxing, and she's the GOAT, and rightfully so. She's done a lot in the amateurs. She's been leading the way. She's earned her hype. Shout out to Claressa Shields. Much love to Claressa Shields. But I think as time goes on, starting with this fight, as time goes on, Seniesa Estrada, not only do I believe she'll give Claressa Shields a big run for her money, but I believe that she has all the makings, from her marketability as a fighter to the way she carries herself to her as a fighter to, her being an attractive woman. She has the total package, and if there's anything we know about boxing, you have to be the total package to be a star. And this is a great fight. This is a great litmus test for her, and I'm happy that I'm going to be there for it in person. So that's my little assessment of the fight. I think Seniesa will win. I think she's got some clear advantages in this fight. Not to disrespect Anabel Ortiz, because Anabel Ortiz is a damn good fighter. But Anabel Ortiz has never fought in America. She's never fought on American television. And it's just different when a fighter comes to America. But I do believe she'll be ready to fight, and I do believe we'll get a good fight on the night. But I believe Superbad will be a world champion like the original Superbad, Sugar Ray Leonard, was once world champion. So leave your comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.